This is the American Athletic Conference on ESPN. Welcome to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're at the Reynolds Center where the Golden Hurricane, the homestanding Tulsa team, is unbeaten, and Tulsa will play host to the Tulane Green Wave. We welcome you in. I'm Bruce Howard along with J.R. Rollo. We're delighted you're along. And for the Golden Hurricane and head coach Angie Nelp, they got a big win on the road against Memphis in their first game. Tulane, meantime, lost at Wichita State. So you have the rub in this game right at this point is obviously for the Hurricane. They want to hold serve here at home. And for Tulane, they don't want to be 0-2 in the early season.
It's critical going into conference play that you get all the wins you can. And Tulsa playing at a high level, won 6 in a row. Tulane used to winning a lot. Definitely doesn't want to start the conference season 0-2.
All right, let's take a look now at our players to watch. And first of all, for Tulane, it is Kyron Whittington. And she's a young lady that does it all for Lisa Stockton.
Yeah, no doubt. And she's really kind of a program player, but she scores at a high level, ranked 7th in the conference at 16.75. Her coach gives her all kinds of attributes. Very aggressive scorer, scores at all 3 levels. Watch out for her tonight.
And for the Golden Hurricane, Maddie Cartwright. It's easy to talk about Poindexter and Crawford, but Maddie Cartwright, the freshman, is really coming on.
Well, she comes from Greenwood High School in Arkansas, winner of 3 state championships while she's there, so she knows how to win. 16 in her last effort. 4th in the conference right now with 3-point field goal percentage at 45.3. She can go.
Absolutely. Let's join now our third member of our broadcast crew, and that is Michelle Montaigne. Michelle?
Thanks so much, Bruce. Now, you guys mentioned the 6-game win streak Tulsa enters this game on, but that's not the only impressive streak they're on. They are undefeated at home. Earlier this season, each individual on the team was asked to contribute a team goal. For Coranda Perea, hers was to see TU finish this season undefeated at the Reynolds Center. Now, they're off to a good start with that, but if they want to move to 6-0 tonight, they're going to have to beat a Tulane team, Bruce, that they haven't since 2019.
Yeah, that's right, and it's an 8-0 streak right now for the Tulane Green Wave. They've won 8 in a row in this series. And, JR, how about the keys to the game, first of all, for Tulane?
Well, it's so important for Tulane to guard that 3-point line. Tulsa, having made 114 threes on the season, can shoot at a high level. And then number 2, they got to be efficient on offense. Tulane, winners of 4 straight before at Wichita State, they just couldn't make any shots to finish it out. For Tulsa, their keys to the game are they got to get in their offensive flow, that motionless, kind of a positionless offense. They got to 5 out, got to get to the bucket, and then they got to compete in the rebounding battle. Tulsa at times gets out-rebounded. They can't give Tulane too many second opportunities.
And Tulane is a very good rebounding team. So we get ready for this, the 38th meeting between these two, with Tulane leading the all-time series 28-9, and Tulsa has the first possession. And you notice that Tulane, it looks like, JR, they're in a zone defense to start things.
Yeah, coach said that they were going to mix it up a little bit, try to keep Tulsa off balance offensively.
Couple of misfires for Tulsa. Tulane will get their first possession.
And Tulsa picking up full court here, Bruce. Delaney Crawford, boy, she's really developed into a big-time player.
No doubt. Here's your Red Crown Credit Union starting lineups as you see the lineup for Tulane. And they're banged up a little bit. And had a player get injured even in the contest against Wichita State. Now we have a foul after Tulane missed a shot. And the rebound for the Golden Hurricane by Hadley Perriman. And here's a look at your Red Crown Credit Union starting lineups for the Golden Hurricane. It's been a bunch that's been very consistent for Tulsa throughout the year, and it has obviously been very good for Coach Angie Nelp and the 11-3 Golden Hurricane. And there's an air ball by Maddie Cartwright. I don't know if somebody got a hand on it or not. Might have been tipped, and it went out of bounds. And great effort there by Marta Golich. Golich went diving into the chairs over there, and and he kind of got tangled up, and she's okay, and everybody else okay, I guess.
Boy, Golich has really emerged as a leader for this Tulane team this year. Just an absolute stud in every aspect of the game.
There you see Angie Nelp in her 3rd season at the University of Tulsa, sterling record, great assistant at Arizona State, and from Canadian High School near the Eufaula area, an original, obviously, Oklahoman. And now here's another 3-pointer, and that one off the back iron. From Tamira Poindexter, she's misfired from that corner a couple of times. And the steal by Perriman. Back comes Tulsa on the run. And Ray Young gets the first points of the game.
You're going to love that poise by Ray Young right there. Could have easily just taken it up. Felt the defense pressure from behind. Quick pump fake. then she had a wide open bucket.
This is Galich, then a cross-court pass, and an open shot that just hit the side of the backboard, missed badly by Amira Mabry. And back comes Tulsa. That's a good pass inside, but Perriman can't finish. And the rebound grabbed by Barral. That pass too far and results in a turnover, and Tulsa will have the ball.
Well, you can see right now both teams really wanting to run quite a bit.
And here's Lisa Stockton in her 30th season as the head coach. 586 wins at Tulane, 649 overall in her career. Outstanding career, one of the highest number of active wins right now in all of women's college basketball. And that's Tamira Poindexter, who is a 1,000-point scorer for Tulsa. And Tulsa has the early 5-0 lead.
She's just moving up the charts in pretty much every category here at the University of Tulsa.
Tulsa's in their trademark man-to-man. Again, they're trying to get a cutter, and that one was Young batting it out of bounds. They're trying to get it to Marta Galich. And no question about it, getting a Ray Young back this year has been huge for the Golden Hurricane. Such a great athlete. They only have 6 to shoot. And a traveling violation by Marta Galich. And probably, I would assume, for Coach Stockton, a few too many turnovers here early.
Got to settle down a little bit if you're Tulane. You're really an experienced team, a couple of graduates, a redshirt senior, redshirt junior, lots of experience.
Battle for that rebound, grabbed by the Green Wave, and here they come. Grattini starting in this game at point guard. A really good play by Perriman. Checked the Tulane player who had it down low, and Whittington just got that one capped. And it still is Tulane ball on possession rotation. Open shot, Galich. Marta Galich, 40% three-point shooter, is 5'3".
Just a good-looking stroke right there by Galich. It's one she's done thousands of times in the practice gym.
Tulsa against that zone. They get an open shot. Poindexter couldn't connect. And back comes Tulane. 5-0 early score. Tulane has just made their first basket moments ago.
In our conversation yesterday with Coach Stockton, she said they're going to mix it up defensively. We've already seen some zone and some man, a little bit of everything.
Got an offensive rebound. That'll be big today. And Grattini will reset the offense for the Green Wave. Corral muscles her way inside, and Poindexter has the board for Tulsa. All the way. How about that? Coast to coast for Tamira Poindexter. 7-3.
And that right there, Poindexter on her horse, puts it on the deck. Nice couple crossovers, uses her body perfectly with the finish. And let me tell you something, that is why she's the top scorer in the conference.
She'll get the and one. The Hurricane on top by 5.
She knows how to put that ball in that bucket. Some people, they can get the shots and everything, but she just has a knack. She's able to move her body in the air, get in position to score, understands how to score, and that's half the battle.
And she's moved to number 9 now on the all-time list. She just passed a young lady by the name of Carla Morrow. As Tulsa has the 5-point advantage. That's a really good, strong move by Kyron Whittington, the young lady who we obviously spotlighted at the beginning of this thing. Amira Brown had checked in for Tulsa. She's trying to mix, and there's Tamira again.
And right there, Tamira getting to the short corner against the zone. That's what you want to do. Tamira Poindexter just ran it to perfection. When you can catch and shoot like she can, it's always good offense to get her the ball.
Galich couldn't hit, and back for TU is Amira Brown, but a turnover. Bertini will set things up for Tulane. Obviously, Tulsa wants to go with pace. Tulane is a little bit more deliberate, but they will take the fast break when it's there. They let Corral open outside. They'll allow her to shoot that three if she wishes. That one off a leg. And a kick. And so we have our first time out. Early on, it's Tulsa on top 10-5 over Tulane here at the Reynolds Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma on ESPN+.
Live sport.
Tulsa's defense right now at a high level over the last games, and what you can see is just little changes. Lots of hands up, active hands. Tulsa contesting shots with unbelievable ability. High hands, you can see right there, Andy Merriman, just a great job. Tulane not getting any open looks, and that's just been critical for Tulsa in their last 6 games. Opponents' field goal percentage only 30%. That's an unbelievable number, and they're holding their opponents almost under 55 and 55.7 points per game, Bruce. The Tulsa defense, and that's going to make them a championship caliber team if they can keep that up.
And in this game so far, 25% for Tulane at 2 for 8. They're 1 for 3 from 3, and the Hurricanes shooting at 36%. If you don't shoot very well offensively, as long as you can do that defensively, Angie Nelp's team's going to be in every single game.
No doubt, 6.5 blocks per game in those last 5. Part of that credit goes to Tamira Poindexter. She's had 17 of them in the last 5.
Foul against Tulsa. Let's go to Michelle Montaigne, who had a chance to peek into a huddle.
I certainly did, Bruce. I almost feel like a broken record saying this, but I was listening to Coach Stockton talk to her girls. She said, you'll have to get back in transition. I feel like I hear every coach say that to their squad when they're playing Tulsa. Now, offensively, she wants to see them take the best shots they can. She told us coming into this game that last time when they were playing Wichita State, they just couldn't really find the bottom of the net. Tonight, she wants them to take a better shot so they have a better chance of doing that, Bruce.
Whittington making both free throws to make it a 10-7 score. The Golden Hurricane with Coranda Perea in the game now. Joining Brown along with Cartwright. Crawford, Poindexter. And now here's an open three and another basket. She is not afraid to shoot. Tamira Poindexter, she may miss 1 or 2, but then she'll go ahead and continue to shoot. Good shooters need to do that.
Such a luxury to have a 6'1" player like that against the zone, because the 3 is a zone breaker. So if it gets into Tamira Poindexter's hands and she's not double teamed, that's advantage Tulsa.
That one was kicked, and here comes Ray Young checking back in for the Golden Hurricane.
And Ray Young really started to come on strong at the end of the year last year, obviously before the injury. But
Right.
she,
and I felt when she came out, when she was injured, JR, that was a big loss for Tulsa.
yeah, it really was. And I'm not sure she's 100% yet, but she's a tremendous athlete and a really good player.
Well, that missed shot by Whittington, they tried to save it, and that one hit the other side of the backboard, if you will, as Hannah Pratt tried to save it. And it's Tulsa ball with the 13-7 advantage.
Tulsa definitely controlling the tempo of this game right now. They're playing Tulsa basketball, whether it's against the zone or man, they're moving it around the perimeter, 5 out, constantly moving, call it positionless basketball, and doing a great job.
Poindexter has that one ripped away from her by Corral. Tulane with the opportunity, down by 6. This is Jody Madison Key, a freshman who's going to be relied on, especially with their guard injury problem that the Green Wave has. Their initial guard, their point guard for the season was going to be Kiera Middleton. She got hurt, played only a game or 2. And that's a good move by Corral. But the rebound, Poindexter, here comes Tulsa quickly. Short corner basket made by Ray Young, and that's how fast Tulsa can get it down the court, JR.
And then they just love the short corner against the zone. And if you can make that short corner shot, it really makes your zone offense effective.
Tulsa shooting at 46% now, and Tulane down to 20% at this point in the game. So far, the domination by Tulsa. Last year in the game here, Tulane actually had a 20-point halftime lead before the Hurricanes shaved it down to as low as 2 and ended up losing by 2, and that's a good move inside by Madison Key.
Coach Lisa Stockton said yesterday on our call that just needed to give her more minutes, that she was going to be a really good freshman. Just hadn't gotten enough time. She's making the most of it here tonight.
Oh, there was a gap, and Ray Young exploited that gap, and Tulsa now leads by 8 again. Matches their largest lead. Good first quarter for Angie Nelp's team. Tulsa unbeaten here at home at 5-0. That is an air ball by Hannah Pratt, and the transfer from Columbia just barely hit the netting.
And one of the ways to beat the zone is to penetrate the gaps. And Ray Young right there, just a fantastic job recognizing that the defense didn't rotate over. Take what the defense gives you. She took it all the way to the bucket.
It's been the Poindexter and Young show so far. Poindexter with 11, Young with 6. Here's Maddie Cartwright for 3. An air ball that, like Crawford might track it down, but the hustle play by Kyron Whittington, and here comes Tulane. That's a good play. They got it down low, and Pratt was able to convert for Tulane. Back to a 6-point game. That's a deflection out of bounds. Be Tulsa ball. Amira Brown checking in. Cartwright checking out for Tulsa. And one thing that Coach Nelp talked about is the preparation, whether it's man-to-man or zone. She mentioned there are 4 or 5 different universal offensive concepts you can use against both the zone and the man-to-man.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, the bottom line is you want to get to where the defense isn't, especially against the zone. You want to get in the gaps. And Tulsa's been doing a great job of that tonight.
Well, that's a good defensive play by Amira Brown, because it looked like it was Tulane off to the races, and they were running with pace. They had a 3-on-1, and somehow Brown was able to knock it away. Tulane with the ball. Oh, that's a good inbounds play. As speaking of gaps, Amira Mabry finds one inside against the Tulsa defense, and now it's a 4-point game with a minute to go here in the quarter.
One of the other things, it doesn't matter offensive zone and defensively against the zone or man-to-man, you got to move the basketball. Tulsa really swinging it.
Oh, that's a nice bit of ball movement there, and Delaney Crawford gets on the board with her first basket.
You can see right there, inside to Tamira Poindexter, quick hit outside to Delaney Crawford. That's a beautiful inside-out play.
Madison Key could not convert there, and back comes Tulsa again, and quickly moving and getting a 3. They rule a traveling violation on Crawford.
Sometimes you get moving a little too quick,
Yeah.
Tulsa. I mean, they want to play fast, no doubt. You get those big old eyes when you get out there and you got a chance to let a 3 go. Got to make sure your feet are set.
Absolutely. When I heard the whistle, I thought something we've seen a lot, both in the men's and women's side. Somebody stepping out of bounds as they kick their leg back and get ready to shoot a 3. Shot clock is off, so Tulane will attempt to take the final shot. Tulsa with the 7-point advantage. This is Madison Key weaving back and forth against Tulsa's man-to-man. Womack gets a shot off, and that one goes with 1 second to go. And Jaylee Womack, redshirt freshman from Springfield, Louisiana, gets the job done and cuts the lead to 5. But Tulsa had the early advantage, and a lead as large as 8 is 5 here at the end of 1 quarter. The Hurricane with the lead as they try to stay unbeaten here at the Reynolds Center. Back with more on ESPN+.
What even is this?
During that party they also had a karaoke contest, and this being a competitive group, Bruce, there had to be a winner. Well, it was the 2 freshmen, Lily Baugh and Joy Madison Key, who took home the win on the karaoke contest. And then, the next day, each player was tasked with contributing 1 word that they each wanted to individually live by every day this year to achieve their overall goals together. You saw in that picture there words like championship, legacy, and resilience. We'll need to see some resilience in this game here today, Bruce, if they want to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, no doubt, Michelle and JR, you've been on road trips where there's that circle the wagon mentality, and that's certainly what Tulane has here today.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't start the conference season 0-2. At least that's the mindset you have to have. So Tulane, very experienced, obviously a very tried and true program that's used to winning. They're going to try to win at all costs here tonight.
Man-to-man defense this time by Tulane. We've seen 2 or 3 different types of defenses for the Tulane Greenway. Tulsa's probably used to going against man-to-man than anything else, and that's a tap away. And Joey Madison Key knocked it out of bounds, and that's just a disruptor, isn't it? A deflection is a disruptor.
Absolutely. You want to have high hands on defense, whether it's a zone or a man. Tulane, obviously, you can see them out there talking about assignments. Hands are up. They're moving quickly. Tough defense from the Greenway.
And the Hurricanes had only 7 to go on the shot clock when they inbounded the ball, but they got it quickly to Poindexter, and Poindexter has 14 now.
Sometimes great players just make great plays, and that's what happened there.
And there's Hannah Pratt answering at the other end, only a 30% three-point shooter, but Coach Stockton said she's better than that. And now here's another 3 jacked up from the left-hand corner. That one missed by Crawford, and here comes Tulane. Tulsa did a pretty good job transitioning back. The Hurricane holding to their 5-point lead that they had at the end of the first quarter. Also getting man-to-man. Womack had a basket at the end of the quarter, and that's an air bank. With not much time on the shot clock, Tulsa got the rebound. And here's a Ray Young. Oh, that's a nice move. And actually tried to throw it in over her shoulder, but the ball flew out. She was athletic enough to recover. Tulsa has plenty of time on the clock here, but they're not going to take all of that time. It wouldn't appear as Young is inside and somehow gets it to go. Oh my, she twisted like a pretzel and got it to go. It's a 7-point lead.
I'm not even sure how to explain that move, but that's just pure resilience right there. Ray Young, she was going to find a lane to the bucket, and she did.
Well, I do a lot of radio broadcasts. I'm glad I didn't have to try to describe that, you know?
Exactly.
Foul on Tulsa for fighting through the screen. First team foul on the Golden Hurricane here in quarter number 2. Tulsa's largest lead was 8 in the first half, in the first quarter. Here's Grattini, young lady from Italy, setting up the offense. And Whittington. Nice drive inside, threw up a wild shot. And Tulsa gets the rebound with Amira Brown. Brown open for 3. Pratt has the rebound, and back comes Tulane.
Kyron Whittington just coming into her own this year. She can score as well, Bruce.
Yeah.
7th in the conference right now in points per game. So she's Tulane's fearless leader, there's no doubt.
Tulane had a 4-game winning streak, which was snapped on Saturday, and a foul called on Crawford.
You know, and in talking to Lisa Stockton yesterday, the game at Wichita State, she really felt like they had a chance to win that. They were down 6, or they lost 63-60, but said they got all the shots they could handle. They missed free throws, which was uncharacteristic, and they just couldn't get the ball in the bucket down the stretch. And on the road, sometimes those things happen.
Yeah. Pratt open for a jumper, and the rebound Crawford. Poindexter pops and misses. Stop and a pop by Tamira. The rebound, Burrell. Good help defense by Tulsa. That results in a turnover.
That time, Grattini with the kind of scoop pass from the lower waist to the opposite perimeter, just kind of sailed on her, got away. Tulsa basketball.
Burrell knocked that one out of bounds. Tulsa leading by 7 as we approach the midway point of this first half. knocked away, and now it's loose on the floor. And Brown comes up with it, and then a held ball, and that will be Tulane ball. By the way, Poindexter already with 14 for Tulsa. She has now moved into the number 8 spot all time, TU scoring, as she just passed a really good player by the name of Megan Moody. So she's number 8 now. She's got a ways to go to get to 7. But she passed 2 players here in the first, 14 minutes of the game.
I can promise you that young lady stays healthy. Number 7 will go down here pretty quickly.
Yep.
Pretty special.
Pratt with an air ball. And that may be a mischaracterization. It actually hit the twine, so it did hit something.
All too kind there, Bruce.
Yes,
for sure. She'd like to have that one back. I know that.
It wasn't a bad look. Perea to Brown. And Young. Oh, what a drive by Young. What a finish. Largest lead at 9.
Be able to cross it over like that and get to the opposite side of the bucket. The left hand and a finish. It's a big time play by Young for Tulsa.
After Galich missed, Crawford got the rebound, and that's an area where Crawford's been really 4 rebounds already. But watch this play, Jay.
Yeah, just an inside-out move. That's something you work on. Individual workout. It freezes the defender. She's able to get by her face, and then it's just basically just all skill at that point. She gets the other side of the bucket, and a great finish with the left hand.
Perea. Crawford. Again, that wonderful motion by Tulsa. Perea gets open and finishes. 11-point lead.
Just a fantastic grab right there by Perea. Did a great job getting to the middle of the lane. That ball's coming in there. She was not going to be denied. 2 strong hands and a strong finish.
Corral trying to answer. Nice little up and under move, but it's blocked. Blocked by Perea. Back comes Tulsa. All Tulsa so far, but a long ways yet to go even in this half. Largest lead in the game. Crawford open 3. That one misses everything. Corral with the rebound for Tulane. She has 4. That's a good drive by Whittington and the foul. And she's not afraid to go up against the trees. As she took it to the rack, and for the Hurricane, even though they had a 9-point lead and the last basket was Tulane, been Tulsa dominating all areas of the game, and a 9-point lead for Tulsa. Back with more in a moment.
The Home Depot, committed to filling the trade gap.
At the same time, Ray Young, just unbelievable double figures in 4 out of the last 5 games. You can tell she's inching towards that 100%. High-level athlete, can score, very creative around the bucket, likes to put it on the deck and get to the basket. But man, she's a magician around the bucket for sure. Big-time player for Tulsa.
Well, and for Angie Nelp's team, it's Poindexter with 14. Young has 10. And there will be others that'll move forward, I'm sure, on that score sheet. There you see 24 of the 29. I bet Delaney Crawford will join the party. Maybe be another member of that law firm, huh?
No doubt.
Third member.
Yeah, Delaney Crawford with only 3 shots in the ball game so far. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but it needs to be mentioned. The 4th leading scorer in the conference. So Tulane doing a good job limiting her touches, limiting her shots. But then that's where Young is kind of taking up the slack.
Whittington able to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. And that's what we were talking about a few breaks ago, was a young lady getting the ball, trying to set your feet. And it's just natural. Your feet go backwards. Sometimes you go out of bounds.
You kind of get ready and Sometimes that one of your feet will pop backwards to try to get a little spring step forward, and it happens so many times, not just in women's basketball, but men's as well, because that's not a very big area over there on the sideline behind the three-point arc.
Corral able to find Whittington, who misses the long jump shot. Here comes Tulsa. Here's Young trying to muscle it in. Whittington with the rebound. Tulsa led at the end of one quarter, 20-15. That's a good feed down low. Mabry couldn't convert. That's a good fighting effort by Tulsa's Delaney Crawford. Check in with Michelle Montaigne on the sidelines. Michelle.
Yeah, Bruce, what Coach Angie Melp was just emphasizing to her team was what she called their number 2 key to this game, getting through screens. She feels like they are not doing a good enough job on that. Also said she wouldn't be surprised if she sees Tulane go back to zone, guys, so keep an eye out for that.
Well, there's a nice backdoor cut against the man-to-man. Anna Ray Young converting for Tulsa, and it's a 10-point lead now for the Golden Hurricane. Young has 12.
Great things happen in basketball when you constantly move. Tulsa offensively just move all the time. It makes it almost impossible to guard, whether that be a zone or a man defense.
Here's a three-pointer on the way and way off the rim by Mabry, and a foul after the rebound. Going to go against Tulsa, and that will be a shot attempt, I do believe. And it's Crawford, and for Tulsa, that is her second. And so that becomes certainly an issue for the Hurricane, as she will likely come out of the game with about 2.5 remaining here in the second quarter. And she does check out. Checking in for Tulsa is Elise Hill, freshman from Holland Hall, and she may have to carry some of that guard load the rest of the way for Tulsa. Corral misses on that one. Young lady from Romania, 77% free throw shooter, great leader on this team. She's a captain. She's also leading the team in rebounding at 6.8, and one of those program players. This is her 5th year. So it's a 9-point game. Whittington slaps that one away, and that's the sort of pass, for young Elise Hill, where she'll learn that in Division I, with those athletes, they're going to bat that thing away and sometimes get a steal and deflection.
The length is different, the athleticism is different, and the speed of game is different. And sometimes it takes a while as a true freshman to figure that out.
Poindexter open and rips it. And Tulsa has their largest lead of 12 with just over 2 remaining here in the second quarter. Poindexter has 17. Golish can't hit, and a nice tip by Brown. And collecting it is Hadley Perriman. Here comes Tulsa. Perriman leading Tulsa in rebounding this year at 7.4. Improved in that area of the game so very well.
Yeah, coming into the season, Bruce, she had never had a double-figure rebounding game. She already has 4 games this year where she's rebounding double figures, and tonight she's already got 5 rebounds, so she's halfway home again tonight.
Here's Brown trying to create something, and creates a wide open 3. Halfway down by Perriman. Tulane collects the rebound. That's a good drive and a good basket by Joy Madison Key, the freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. She had a knee injury earlier in the season, is just coming back and starting to round into form.
Big time play right there with physicality, getting to the rim, clearing the space without pushing off. That's a unique craft as an offensive player.
And from the ball foul, and that is, I believe, just the first foul on Tulane here in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk about one of the programs the University of Tulsa has established. It's called the Pathways Academy here at the University of Tulsa. Feature about that coming up at half. Looking forward to that. Tulsa with plenty of time to shoot here. And 45 to go in the half. with 8. And that's a shot clock violation, although Tulane got possession, so they let him play on. And Golich able to finish. Tulsa with the shot clock off. They may take the final shot here as the lead is down to 8. And Angie Nutt could not have been pleased with that last possession. Again, you continue to use the motion offense, and Poindexter inside traveled. And this will give Tulane one last shot here, down by 8, approaching the end of the first half of play. Tulsa will full court press.
Tulsa in a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 8 seconds. To try to keep Tulane from scoring right here at the end of the quarter.
Whittington will try to get it done. 1 second to go. Never got the shot off. A little too leisurely for the Tulane Green Wave at the end of the half, and Tulsa has an 8-point advantage here at the end of the first 20 minutes of play. And the Golden Hurricane with Angie Nutt coming off, and we will have Michelle Montaigne, who will talk with the head coach of the Golden Hurricane. Michelle?
Thanks so much, Bruce. Angie, 8-point lead heading into half. What did you think of this first half performance?
Yeah, I thought our kids worked really hard. I would like for us to see the game a little bit more up-tempo and get some more things in transition. And I'd like to see us get through some screens a little bit better defensively.
Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate it. Bruce, back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. At halftime, the Golden Hurricane leading by 8. They took the first quarter 20-15. They outscore Tulane 14-11 in the second quarter. It's an 8-point lead at halftime for Tulsa. Back with more in Tulsa on ESPN+.
Top leagues and tournaments.
I came to the University of Tulsa because of the Pathway to Sports program.
I chose the University of Tulsa for the Pathway to Sports Academy program.
I came to the University of Tulsa because of the Pathway to Sports Academy.
Pathway to Sports Academy launched in 2021. It was an opportunity for us to recruit students to the University of Tulsa who could work at a Division I institution, who can gain 4 years of experience starting their freshman year, who can build a network, and then graduate from TU with a degree and the experience. We have 24 pathways. These pathways range from data analytics to equipment operations to sports marketing to athletic training.
I would recommend for everyone to come to University of Tulsa, and if you're into sports, join the Pathway to Sports Academy program. As soon as you step onto campus, you'll get immediate work experience.
Another pathway that we have, that's actually our largest pathway, is athletic training. You want to work with those athletes and their injuries, helping them physically and mentally. That's the pathway for you.
Being a part of the program, it allows you to get into what you want to do as an undergraduate, where in most schools you have to wait till graduate school. It is extremely exciting because I know that this is what I want to do. And I'm kind of able to see that early on and be able to say and affirm, like, yes, this is my pathway. Like, this is what I want to do in a career and kind of focus on it.
So one of the great things about being part of the program is students learn how to communicate effectively, time management, and just being able to work with different types of people from all over the country, all over the world, from different backgrounds. And for our students, that really helps them and prepares them for what's out there as a professional. Our students in the program are able to apply what they're learning in the classroom to their pathway. It's an exciting time because their professors are teaching them things, and then there's pathway supervisors that are teaching them things, and they're able to merge those and apply them and get that hands-on experience.
One of the biggest things I've taken away from the Pathway to Sports Academy is the ability to network. You work with people that have worked in this field for over 30, 40 years, and you build relations and a network that can sustain you in the future.
When I leave here, I know that I will be prepared. I know that I will have no problem being able to find a job anywhere due to having so many access to the different trainers that are here who already are willing and have said that, hey, like, we'll put in a good word for you wherever you need to go. And I think that's pretty cool because I know that I'll be prepared. I know that they're able to support me in any way that I need.
I encourage everyone to apply to the University of Tulsa and to apply to the Pathway to Sports Academy program.
where you live doesn't control what you watch. It's always seeing your team in action. Knowing you have access to 50 exclusive NHL games means knowing your plans for the next 6 months. To know hockey is to love hockey, and to love hockey is to have ESPN+.
Nothing held back. All for the love of soccer. For the love of football. For the love of La Liga.
$5 duo at Burger King.
Deck, but you can see the ball movement. Tulane really trying to get into the lane, soak it up, and then they can drive and kick. But they can also get it to the bucket and score at a high level with physicality. They've been able to score in transition some as well. Golich doing a nice job there on the break. But then you get to Tulsa, and Tamira Poindexter, man, she is just a zone killer when she can hit that step back at that high level, or she can put it on the deck and cross it over several times and get to the bucket and score like that. It's tough to guard, whether it be a man or a zone. And Ray Young, man, she's really coming back in off that injury. She's doing a nice job, puts it on the deck, able to do an inside-out crossover. But Tamira Poindexter hitting threes, putting on the deck, hitting it in transition. The best player in the league so far this season, and she proved it so far in the first half here tonight.
All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers brought to you by Reese's, our first half stats. And you see that field goal shooting percentage for Tulane. Tulsa very good at 47%. But, JR, there's no question Lisa Stockton wants her team to shoot better. They're not getting terrible shots.
In the conversation we had with her yesterday, she talked about her team as a really good offensive team. They just got to make shots. Sometimes that's easier said than done on the road. Obviously, they struggled at Wichita State, struggling here in the first half so far, but they're scrapping and clawing, and they're within striking range here at halftime.
And you see that neither team has shot a lot of free throws, and both teams have had some games where they've gotten to the line a lot. I'm sure that'll change a little bit in the final 20 minutes of this one. The Golden Hurricane with an 8-point lead at halftime. We'll be back with more as we get you ready for second half action. Tulsa and Tulane meeting for the 38th time here in Tulsa. Take a look at some other stats, more individual-wise, as far as the leading scorers are concerned. The Golden Hurricane being paced by Tamira Poindexter. She has 17 in this ball game. Ray Young has 12 so far. And for the Tulane Green Wave, you can see Whittington has 7 to lead the way and has not shot the ball especially well, but she does lead a fairly balanced attack for the Tulane Green Wave, but they still are down by 8 here at halftime. Let's check in with Michelle Montaigne, who had a chance to talk with Lisa Stockton, the Tulane Green Wave head coach.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. There were a couple things that Lisa Stockton preached to her team during that halftime huddle. The first was they've got to be more disciplined on defense. She said they're leaving Tulsa's best players wide open. We can't guard everybody the same. We've got to be more disciplined on defense. On offense, she pointed to the fact that they're missing their starting point guard. We knew that was going to present a challenge for them coming into this game. She has a freshman running this offense right now, and she feels like they're just not able to get into things. She wants to see both of those parts of this game improve here in the second half if they want a chance at this one, Bruce.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. Talking about Kayla Rainey, who has a hamstring injury and unfortunately appears to be unavailable for Lisa Stockton. And boy, when you cut the head off the snake, that's really hard, JR, when your point guard is unavailable. They also lost another good guard in Kiera Middleton earlier this year.
Just really short at the guard level, and that makes it tough, especially when you have to play true freshmen in critical minutes in conference games.
Crawford has the first opportunity of the second half and lips in and out. And here comes Tulane down by 8 as we get it underway here in the third quarter of play. Tulane has won 8 straight in this series. They have won 15 of the last 16. All of those, of course, with Lisa Stockton at the helm of Tulane. And a good move and a basket by Joy Madison Key. She has 4 points, and that's a new career high for her.
She's not playing like a true freshman, I know that. Very good player.
Crawford again. She nails that one. Tulsa now with a 9-point lead.
Well, that 3 right there might get Delaney Crawford going a little bit. You know how much of a workhorse she is. She puts the time in the gym, You got to trust your stroke. Delaney with a beautiful three.
She has 6 points now. Whittington trying to answer, and that one off the heel of the rim hard and out of bounds. Nobody touched it, and Tulsa will have the possession.
Long shots, long rebounds right there. Unfortunately for Kyron Whittington, that ball hit the back of the iron. It basically just went on a tear out of bounds, but Tulsa basketball.
Crawford open for another three. And she has 9 all of a sudden.
That's great offense by Tulsa. You got to find a hot hand. Ball movement was exceptional by Tulsa. Making the extra pass, making the defensive rotate, get that extra ball to get a wide open three for Delaney Crawford.
Corral with a nice move inside for Tulane. The lead back to 10. Tulsa had matched their largest lead moments ago. Young with a three-pointer. That one a little bit too strong. Young does not toss up a whole lot of three-pointers. There's only 16%, 17% coming in. 3 for 19, but when you're that wide open.
Well, and Angie Nelp's offense, she wants them to shoot threes.
Yep.
If you're open out there, doesn't matter what position you're playing, she expects you to let it go.
And there aren't many red lights in this Tulsa offense. Boy, that's a bullish move inside. And Whittington unable to convert. Here comes Tulsa. On the gallop. A foul, and Poindexter nearly got the and one.
Just an unbelievable job in transition right there for Tamira Poindexter. I mean, at 6'1", to be able to get out on the break, push that ball in front of you, and then to avoid the defender like that, just to sidestep him, is amazing body control. And Tamira Poindexter does it better than anybody in the league.
And she looks like, I mean, she eats up floor space so quickly when she gets on that full gallop. She's like an elegant antelope.
Yeah, that's a great analogy right there. I mean, she really is very graceful when she plays, but you better not close your eyes or rest on that because, and you were talking about the head of the snake earlier, she is the head of the snake and she'll bite you.
Corral and Whittington. Those two will have to come through for Tulane if they want to erase this 12-point lead. And there's Corral. Oh, that's Perryman with really good defense. And I think we'll end up with a held ball after the scrum. And the possession arrow goes to Tulane, evidently.
Ball enters the post right here. Perryman really holds her ground, and then she's able to get her hand down on the ball cleanly. Drives it to the ground, and then they a scrum on the ground. Ties it up. It's Tulane's basketball, but Bruce, that looks like Kyron Whittington is down, and she's writhing in pain.
Oh, boy. Transfer from Louisiana Monroe, her second year for Tulane, has been really terrific. Great athlete, explosive ability for them, and don't know what happened. They are looking, you don't want to speculate too much, but it appears lower leg injury, perhaps the left knee area is what they're looking at. And you always hope in this situation that it's not nearly as bad as it appears.
Yeah. Well, you know, there are those injuries that hurt for a while and then it goes away. But, you know, you hear Coach talk about how tough she is and how strong of a player she is. She's in a lot of pain, Bruce. There's no doubt about that. We just hope for the best here.
Well, the Golden Hurricane men's team will be back in action. That's the next ESPN Plus broadcast here from the Reynolds Center as number 15 Memphis comes into town to take on Eric Kunkel's Tulsa Golden Hurricane. That one should be a great game. Memphis is all that in a bag of chips, JR.
No doubt. As talented as a team as Penny Hardaway has had during his tenure there, and they've played everybody. They're not afraid to play anybody. And, boy, they're the class of the American Conference, no doubt. And they come to Tulsa Thursday night, and Tulsa better be ready to go because I can promise you the Memphis Tigers will be.
We're going to take a break and be back as Tulsa has a 12-point lead over Tulane, and wishing the best certainly for Kyron Whittington for the Tulane Green Wave. Back with more in a moment from the Reynolds Center on ESPN+. And another thing that sometimes happens when you have a key player injured, everybody else fills the gaps in. And sometimes you get a team that really rallies.
Other people got to step up. You know, in this case, it's next woman up mentality, next man up mentality. It's critical. You got to pick your teammates up. We'll see how Tulane responds.
Eddie Cartwright's been a little bit quiet for Tulsa. She had an open shot, elected not to take it. And now back is Womack. And Poindexter with the rebound for Tulsa. Cold shooting night again for Tulane. They're at 31% in the ball game. They've missed their last 5. Tulsa led at halftime, 34-26. And approaching the midway point of the third quarter, they've upped it to 12. Green wave and they're man-to-man. Here's Ray Young with a nice move inside, and again she couldn't finish, but she taps the rebound free for Crawford. And Crawford hits the rim twice, and Perriman follows it up, and it's Tulsa hitting the offensive glass and getting a basket. And the and one.
Boy, Perriman is just a workhorse down there for Tulsa. She does the little things that nobody else wants to do. Look at it right here, shot by Delaney Crawford, comes off the far side. Perriman's in perfect position, battles inside the defender, gets the offensive board, doesn't bring it down, takes it straight back up, draws one, draws a foul, makes the bucket.
Pratt with the foul, the free throw missed by Perriman. And back comes Tulane. This is the largest lead for Tulsa at 14. Irina Peral. Now to Pratt for 3, and that one doesn't hit anything and goes out of bounds. Tulsa ball.
Pratt's had a nice year for Tulane so far, averaging over in double figures, I believe. But
yeah, 11.5.
She's off the mark here a little bit tonight. 1 of 4 from 3, but a tremendous pickup for Tulane over the last couple of years.
Crawford open and nails it. That time inside the arc. And Delaney Crawford has emerged here in the second half for Tulsa. She has 11 in the game. Tulane battles for that offensive rebound. And Pratt's open for 3. And again, the iron unkind for the Green Wave. Brown with a beautiful dish to Perriman.
And that right there is why you run the floor. Perriman getting on her horse, running as fast as you can down as Tulsa's 5 men. Sometimes you get rewarded. Perriman just a tremendous job and great vision and unselfish basketball by Tulsa.
An 18-point lead and a timeout called by head coach Lisa Stockton of the Tulane Green Wave. And if you're a big, yeah, you run the court and you get rewarded.
No doubt. Perriman there, right there, on her horse, runs as hard as she can. Great catch and finish. Perfect job by Hadley Perriman.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX. 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
The Golden Hurricane with a 48-30 lead over Tulane, and Tamira Poindexter leading the way. Lately, it's been the Delaney Crawford story, but the Hurricane certainly loving the fact they have Tamira Poindexter, who is a junior and now number 8 on the all-time scoring list. We mentioned this earlier, and we mention it often. Ray Poindexter, the all-time great player for Tulsa. That's Tamira as a little girl, as she continued to grow and started to love basketball. And Ray, her daddy, who played with our guy right here, J.R. Rollo, huh?
No doubt. And Ray Poindexter played on a couple NCAA tournament teams here, one Sweet 16, but you can see right there, Tamira got started early, and her dad was able to coach her. There he is, Big Ray right there, 6'11", and he was able to coach her early up until high school, and then he passed her off to Sapulpa High School's famous Hall of Fame type coach, Darlene Caleb. They won a state championship, probably would have won 2, but due to COVID, they didn't play the state tournament that year, but Well, he decided, or he kind of picked up on it. In the 10th grade is when the light kind of went on for Tamira. She decided at that point she wanted to be a lead and really got after. But he credits her high school coach, Darlene Caleb, for really lighting that fire.
Here's Pratt going inside and again getting decent shots, Tulane, but just not able to convert. Here comes Tulsa. And Poindexter will shoot the three. Oh, my. And Tulsa's red hot with her largest lead at 21.
She's right on cue sometimes, isn't she, Bruce?
Yeah, and she has 22 now for the Golden Hurricane. Collins tries to answer and does. And back comes Tulsa. The lead moments ago at 21. And Perea could not convert on another good pass by Tulsa. Let's check in with Michelle Montaigne, who has a report from the Tulane bench.
Yeah, after Coach Stockton called that timeout, the first thing she wanted to see was them rebound the ball. Remember, last year when Tulsa and Tulane played, Tulane won the rebounding battle in both games and then won both games. Thompson's even did a better job on the boards. She also wanted to say, I don't want to see you backpedaling. I want to see you sprinting down the court when Tulsa is on offense. She also ended that timeout by asking them, what do y'all want to play? You want to play zone? You want to play man? What do you want to play? Let me know. To get into this game, they have to stop and score, and just try to cut into this lead, Bruce.
Well, there you have, I believe they've called an offensive foul on Tamira Poindexter, and we have the natural inside 5 break. The Golden Hurricane moments ago had their largest lead of 21. It's 19 right now as Tulsa leading Tulane here in the third quarter on ESPN+.
I live a life at the Fontainebleau. It's my favorite rendezvous, and it's all because of you. All your dreams come true at the Fontainebleau.
Hey, look at this. What? Saved nearly $750. With that kind of money... Lie.
Tulane has done the biggest win all time. 1, 2,
Inside of the Reynolds Center, but Tulsa currently has a 51-32 lead over Tulane. And on the Green Waves team, we have a very special Hannah Pratt. Now, she's one of 2 Pratt siblings who currently plays for Tulane. Her brother, Michael Pratt, is the starting quarterback at Tulane. He's been the starter there since 2020 when he burst onto the scene, had 9 starts as a true freshman. Now, the 2 siblings are in their first year ever at the same school together. Hannah transferred to Tulane after 4 successful seasons at Columbia, and she has made a quick impact in her first year here down in New Orleans, guys.
Yeah, and Coach Stockton said that Hannah actually learned how to throw a football before Michael. So Hannah can throw as well. And Michael obviously had a brilliant career for Tulane. Took them to the Cotton Bowl championship and then to the championship game in the American this year as Tulane, the great renaissance in their football program, led by Michael Pratt and a whole bunch of other players. And now Hannah Pratt in her 1 year for the Green Wave program, trying to make a mark as well.
What a great experience for the Pratt family. Just unbelievable pair of siblings right there, just performing at a high level, unbelievable competitors.
And on cue, she takes the shot. The rebound, Tulsa. And here comes Maddie Cartwright. Wow, what a move there. And Cartwright open for three. And Ray Young able to battle for the rebound. Poindexter. And now it's Perea for three. And she nails it. She'd only gone 4 for 12 on three-pointers coming in. But she can shoot it now. And you know, Coach Nelp has talked about that, JR, that Karanda Perea can shoot it.
Coach Nelp won't recruit you unless you can shoot it because she really believes in the positionless basketball. They talk about it. In my conversation with Ray about Tamira just loves playing for Coach Nelp because there's just a lot of freedom. You know, if they're open, she expects you to shoot it. When you're a basketball player, that's a great way to live.
A whistle on the drive. And, you know, players love to play in a system where you have the freedom to shoot. Tubby Smith, your old coach at the University of Tulsa, gave a lot of his players a lot of freedom to shoot, except for one J.R. Rollo, once he was outside the three-point arc, right?
There was a lot of green lights. Unfortunately, Ray and I were talking earlier today. Those green lights did not include our numbers, unfortunately. But that's all right. We had a great run, and Coach Smith is a Hall of Fame caliber coach, and, you know, it is what it is. He knew how to win basketball games, and that's what it took.
And you and Ray both knew how to set a pick out front, for sure.
No doubt.
Shot clock running down. And another miss for Tulane. They have just not been able to find the mark, but they get the rebound. And that three-pointer also off the mark by Grattini, and then a foul on Tulsa. So Tulane starting to bash the offensive boards, and that foul goes against Perea.
Credit to Tulane. I mean, they have just been decimated by injuries at the guard position. Obviously, tonight losing their best player, Kyron Whittington, but there is no stop in the fight of the Green Wave. They're still out here getting after it.
That's a good lob inside, and the basket completed by Amira Mabry. Mabry with 4 now. It's a 20-point lead for Tulsa. This is Elise Hill, and now Tulane settles into his own.
Can't imagine them staying in the zone too long down 20, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Well, right now they get a steal out of it, and Joy Madison Key down for the layup, and she missed it. Oh, that came off her hand funny. Back comes Brown. Last minute of play here in the third quarter. Third quarter owned by Tulsa, 20-8. Cartwright to the short corner pyramid. Now Poindexter heaves it into the corner, and Brown open three. And that's a three-pointer by Golic from Zagreb, Croatia. Young lady who has her MBA already, transferred from University of San Francisco. Now the lead is 17. Possibly the final possession of this third quarter, and Poindexter unable to hit. And that'll be the end of the third. So the Golden Hurricane outscoring Tulane in the third quarter, 20-11. They have dominated almost all phases of this game, and they will go into the final 10 minutes leading by 17 in this one over the Green Wave of Tulane. Back with more on the American right here from Tulsa.
It's the stick up.
With the lead as large as 22, Tulsa has a 17-point lead as we go to the final quarter. Let's check in with Michelle Montaigne, who has a special guest for us.
A very special guest. You heard me talk with Angie Nelp earlier. Now I am thrilled to be joined by her sister, Jana, older sister that is. Jana, growing up, watching Angie develop from a player to now a coach and getting to come back home, what has it been like watching her through this journey?
It has been a really fun journey watching her, not just from a player in high school and college, even from a young player, working on those left-handed layups in the front yard. And now she's leading a team, and she's doing a fantastic job. She has work ethic like nobody I've ever seen, and I know she's passing that along to her team.
I know that you guys used to play against each other growing up. Talk about those experiences from a young age.
She has always been really good, and when I was a freshman in high school is when I stopped playing her one-on-one because that's when she beat me consistently. So she's always been great.
And last one, what has been the most rewarding part of watching her coach at this level?
I think it's just watching her evolve and develop as a leader and then passing that along to her players. And seeing her come back home to Oklahoma has been pretty amazing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jana. I know she was very excited that you and your mom made the trip up here, so thank you. Bruce, Jana and I will send it back to you and JR.
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle. Golden Hurricane misfired on their shot, but they will get the dead ball rebound, if you will, as it went off Tulane and out of bounds, and Tulane remains in this zone defense. Maddie Cartwright. And now Young. 7 to shoot. Poindexter. All went out of bounds off of Harriman. And when you are a little short, and Tulane came in a little bit short on players, and then you lose your best player, Whittington, you can understand why Coach Lisa Stockton is using a zone here, huh?
100%, and I get it. When you're down 17, generally the theory of basketball is you don't stay in a zone, but Tulane's playing it at a high level and really swarming out of that zone. Feel like that's their best opportunity right now.
Corral can't hit. The rebound grabbed by Golich, and somehow she kept that thing alive. Ball sitting there man-to-man and a foul. It's going to be on Delaney Crawford. She had a couple early ones in the first half, but that is just her third. Cartwright also has 3. Perea has 2 for Tulsa.
Tulsa staying in that man-to-man religiously this game, really, even on inbounds plays, just man-to-man all the time.
Madison Key. Looping it inside, stolen by TU's Perriman. Hadley Perriman from Tuttle, Oklahoma with a great play there. That is a near steal. In fact, it is a steal for Marta Golich. Golich one-on-one. That's a nice finish for the young lady from Croatia. Yes, almost 1,000 points in her career. And now here's a finish for Tulsa at the other end. Poindexter scores. And Tulsa inches that lead back out to 17.
Little two-man game right there with Delaney Crawford and Tamira Poindexter. Great understanding of the game by their Tamira. Sees Delaney put it on the deck, knows she needs to get to a place the defense isn't. Just happened to be around the bucket.
She has 24 points, and Tulsa almost had a steal, but Tulane retains. Grattini trying to work her way into the paint, which she does. Somehow gets a shot up, and Corral had the rebound opportunity, but couldn't hit. Now it's a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Young takes it all the way in and finishes.
The luxury to have a Ray Young in the break. She's just such a tremendous athlete, and the defender doesn't know what to do. Do I stop the ball? Do I take away the pass? That hesitation, Ray Young picks up on it, takes it right to the bucket with the finish.
Oh, and a strong steal by Young, and Young will try to finish again, and she does. Ray Young with 16 now for Tulsa. Poindexter leading the way with 24, and Tulsa's now back up over 20. Eleven turnovers, Tulsa. That was only the 7th turnover on Tulane. They've handled it pretty well, but that was a big one for the Golden Hurricane. Whistle on the rebound off the missed shot by Mabry. Let's take a look at that again. The steal and the finish, JR. She knows how to do it.
Just a great job. Active hands are what create that. Her physicality and her athleticism is what finish it. But she just does a great job. Do not bring the ball down against Ray Young, because she will take it from you.
And the play before that, she did a great job of splitting the defense on a 3-on-1 and scored. And now another away from the ball foul, and they're going to get Karanda Perea.
Getting in that break, Ray Young, I mean, that's what they teach you from a young level. Want your two people to hit the wings. You've got the ball, you bring it up the middle, take what the defense gives you, and never stop her, take it to the bucket.
A tip and a steal for Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane on the march. Perea gets trapped, and again it's his own defense. Actually, they've moved to man-to-man, haven't they?
Yeah. A little more sense of urgency for Tulane Green Wave. Down 21 now with 6:20 left in this game.
They got to get a shot off, and they just barely got it off in time, but it was partially blocked, and that's a shot clock violation.
Really good defense right there from Tulane. I mean, Tulsa's moving the ball all over the place on that possession, and Tulane really just cutting off any driving lane and any pass into the paint. Great job by the Green Wave to get that stop defensively.
Well, turnover on Tulsa, they average 15.9. Tulane averages 16, so both teams have really done a better job of taking care of the basketball. Golich, and there's a Ray Young with another steal, and Young with another breakaway. And a timeout called by Lisa Stockton, and part of that has to do with the lack of guard depth for the Green Wave, as Golich out front was trying to create, and Ray Young said, nope, we're going to take the ball away. And for the Hurricane, they're trying to steal a win here today, JR.
And then again, right there, the Tulane offensive player shows the ball to Ray Young and brings the ball down. You can't do that. She's shown she will pickpocket you at a high level. Just an unbelievable job by a Ray Young. Just big-time performance, finishing out this game for the Hurricane.
And Tulsa's up by 23. Back with more in a moment.
Try fast and always free drive up at Target.
Have come out after Christmas break on a mission, a win at Memphis, and now leading 62-39 over Tulane. And of course, a lot of athletics is all about connections, a lot of just in general athletic play, and even in administration as well, is all about connections. And Michelle Montaigne has this special connection between the current Tulsa AD and Lisa Stockton of Tulane.
That's right. Rick Dixon and Lisa Stockton spent a lot of time together at Tulane, and he's here tonight watching the teams play. I asked him, hey, what were some things about Lisa Stockton that you remember? And he said, Lisa Stockton is hands down one of 3 of the best coaches and people he's been around in his 30 years. The other 2 guys he related her to, Tubby Smith and Dave Rader. He said she is such an asset to Tulane, this league, and college sports in general. And her longevity in today's age and climate is impressive in and of itself, Bruce.
Well, there's no question. Now, Rick Dixon didn't hire Lisa Stockton, but certainly helped in the elevation of the program through his time at Tulane. And there's a bucket by the Green Wave, and that left-hander went in. As Mabry able to convert, and it's back to a 20-point lead, approaching the midway point of the 4th quarter.
Lisa Stockton, in her 30 years of coaching, over 20 postseason trips. Just an amazing run at Tulane.
Well, and obviously, Rick, here the AD at Tulsa right now has to feel pretty good about the coach that he has on his side. Angie Nelp doing a great job for the Golden Hurricane, obviously.
She's definitely changed the culture. These girls believe.
And that is Mackenzie Carter, who nails a 3-pointer, her 2nd of the year, and the lead is back down to 17. Now Crawford, and she splits one. Crawford from the corner. And Delaney Crawford now with 14.
High-level basketball game here tonight, Bruce. Quite a few threes for Tulsa. That was their 10th of the game. When Tulsa makes 10 threes, they're almost unbeatable.
That's a kick. And the lead is back up to 20 at 65-45. And here's another look at how Tulsa gets people open.
No doubt. And just moving the ball. Manny Cartwright drives the gap, takes up the defense, kicks it to the wing. And boy, Delaney Crawford knows exactly what to do with it. Trifecta for Delaney Crawford.
A little bit of a slow start for her, but now she's 4 of 7 from 3, 5 of 9 overall.
And 14 points. I mean, I would have loved to play a slow game like that, Bruce. 14 points, but she's also got 7 rebounds and 5 assists.
Mabry misses, but then the rebound and a strong move by Mackenzie Carter. Young lady from Fort Worth, a 6'1" junior. And now we will see the return of Cam Matthews. Cam was such a positive aspect to last year's Golden Hurricane team, and then she got injured, and she is getting her first action of the season. The little point guard, really good defender, so she'll see her first action for Tulsa. This is a good place for her to come in and get kind of scrape the rust off a little bit, huh?
It's just a great sign, to work her way back from injury. Her teammates were so excited when she got in the game. And I look for stuff like that, Bruce. I mean, to me, that shows me what kind of teammate she is.
There's a fumble and an interception, and now back the other way, Carter. And she cannot finish. And the ball was rebounded by Mabry. And Mabry with the step and the shot, and it counts. Fouled by Queen Ikiwu for Tulsa fouling on that one.
It's a nice job by Mabry here in the post. Takes up the space. Turns over her right shoulder. Nice finish and the foul. Just did a good job. Feels very comfortable down there with her back to the basket.
And a timeout called by Angie Nelp. She didn't like the direction of the last couple of possessions. And the lead is down to 16 at this point with 3:53 to go.
Well, she definitely doesn't want to have to sub to Myra Poindexter back in the game. And so rather take a timeout, settle things down. Let's talk about how our philosophy, what we're going to do here to finish out this victory for Tulsa. And she has all the faith in the world in these young players, but now is when you got to prove it to her, and that's why the timeout was called.
Here's the next game on ESPN Plus. It's number 15 Memphis right here at the Reynolds Center. That one should be an outstanding game on Thursday between Tulsa and Memphis. Those two teams have played some barn burners in the past, and of course Angie Nelp's team just got done taking care of Memphis on the road. The men on the Memphis side ranked 15. And a three-point play completed by Amira Mabry. And now Tulsa, the lead at 15. As here in the fourth quarter, they've been outscored 13-11. Ikuwu on the move and the shovel. And they call an offensive foul.
Nice job by Carter there to take up the space, give up her body for the team, and draw that foul.
And here's another young lady who was injured last year and just working her way back. Jessica Evans, in her senior season, she had a COVID year and then was hurt last year and was out for the rest of the season. And a young lady that could be very important for the Golden Hurricane the rest of the way, and now she gets her first action as Madison Key brings it up court.
Huge impact before she got injured. Just a lot of playing time, good player inside and out. Just another good basketball player for Angie Nelp's hurt.
Well, and if you're Tulane and you've got all sorts of injury problems, Angie Nelp is going to say, hey, there's a traveling violation on Womack. My point was going to be, last year Tulsa had the same sorts of injury problems that certainly hurt them a great deal. Talking about a Ray Young,
right? And
then, Cam Matthews and Jessica Evans all out. So at the end of the year, Tulsa was a little shorthanded.
Play basketball long enough. I mean, the season is long. Injuries are real. Got to learn next man up mentality, next woman up mentality, and obviously Tulane's going to have to shuffle the deck a little bit.
Well, and if Tulane wanted to foul to get Tulsa the free throw line, the only problem is that was their first foul of the quarter. So they're going to have to, if they really want to shorten the game that way, I think they'll probably just try to play this aggressive defense, and that's another foul. And I think Coach Stockton is just telling her team to just be ultra aggressive here. If you get a foul, you get a foul. If you get a turnover, even better.
Well, you're down 15. That's 5 possessions with the 3 ball. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibilities with 3 minutes left.
Here's Evans. Can't hit. Rebound, though, grabbed by Brown for a moment. And on the held ball, rotation goes to Tulane.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Hurricane, but picking up full court here, up 15 with 2:53 left.
Corral into the forecourt. And Madison Key will operate. She's got a lot of playing time in this one. Misses on that one. And the rebound, Cam Matthews.
Wise decision by Matthews to go ahead and pull it out. No rush. You got a 15-point lead. Run your offense. Run some clock.
And that one goes out of bounds. No, it stays in bounds. And a timeout was called by Tulsa. As Cartwright dove on the ball, and she will dive on the floor and lose some skin. All over the floor, able to grab that one. And the timeout called with 2:23 remaining. Well, the last time that Tulsa played before Christmas was in the Hawaiian tournament in Maui. And one of the things you do, you have a lot of, you have a little bit of time. You also have a good time at the beach, but you also do a lot of community service. And in Maui, the Golden Hurricane did quite a bit of that as they were involved in a reading program with the youngsters. And you see, almost looks like the Hurricane having more fun than that young lady. But obviously, a great time by the Golden Hurricane in Maui, and part of that was community service. So important for Angie Nell to get involved in the community, and there's a picture of the entire team and all of the youngsters that they had a great time with one afternoon at Maui.
Just a phenomenal deal. I mean, all that is just feel-good stuff. Angie Nell doing it the right way at the University of Tulsa, and this Golden Hurricane team is going to be one to contend with down the stretch.
Crawford nailing a three. Now the lead is back to 18.
Yeah, she wasn't too comfortable with that 15-point lead.
No.
Put all her starters back in.
Yeah. Well, you just never know in this game. Like you were saying, 5 possessions. Another three-pointer by Mabry, and the rebound kicked out front, grabbed by Crawford, and here comes Tulsa with less than 2.
When you've lost 8 times in a row to an opponent, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure you secure that victory.
Absolutely.
And that's just kudos to Tulane, Lady Green Wave, for sure.
Here goes Brown all the way. And Amira Brown scoring for the Hurricane. She gets her first basket of the game, and Tulsa's back up by 20. And Corral able to rip that one from outside. And that's a three-pointer. And a timeout immediately called by the Tulane Green Wave. Later on in the year, Tulsa will play at Tulane in New Orleans on March 5th. So there'll be another opportunity for these two teams to go at it. Here's the upcoming schedule for the Golden Hurricane. They take on Temple here at the Reynolds Center. That'll be on ESPN+. And then on the road, and this will be a tough trip. South Florida's awfully good. They are well coached, and they usually have a whole bunch of foreign players that know how to play. Yeah. As the Bulls are awfully good. Florida Atlantic is a good team. And Wichita State, obviously, is a terrific rivalry, no matter what sport it is, between Tulsa and Wichita State.
You may wonder why Lisa Stockton calls a timeout down 17 with a minute 13 left. But as we mentioned, this is game 2 in the conference season. This is an opportunity to work on a situation, to work on a full court press. Get some work in. It's not about winning tonight. It's about winning later on in conference play.
And there's a foul in the backcourt. Madison Key committing the 3rd foul for Tulane. And Tulsa will have, if you will, a fresh 30 after that personal foul. Matthews almost had it stripped. Again, you see Jessica Evans. Good to see her in the game for the first time in a while. And that's a nice backdoor cut. But the shot missed by Matthews, and a foul on Tulsa. That will result in free throws the other way. With the game at 17, and apparently not in doubt. But a couple of free throws here for the Green Wave.
Frustration foul right there for Matthews. She had a good look at a wide open layup, and it's her first shot in a very long time. It's understandable. She got maybe a little nervous or a little juiced up, amped up, so to speak, and missed that one. And then it's just human nature to try to get the ball back when you miss it. And that's when the foul came.
Here's a freshman from Overland Park, Kansas, Lily Baugh, who missed the first free throw. And the second one is good. Those are her first 2 free throws of the season. And And now it's a 16-point game. Matthews looping at center to Brown, and Tulsa breaks the press. Tulsa will not be too concerned about getting a quick shot. And there's a foul. And that is just the fourth foul on Tulane. And this is a game that, you know, if it's physical and that sort of thing, you might think that there'll be a whole bunch of free throws. But Tulane's 8 of 10 and Tulsa's just 3 of 4.
Yeah.
So not many free throws in this game. And I'm not saying there should have been a whole lot of fouls called. I think it's been fairly adjudicated.
Pretty clean game.
And there's Young finishing this one off for Tulsa. She has 22.
I think she's back, Bruce.
Yes. That's a good pass, and Ba couldn't quite finish, and the rebound Tulsa. And here's Cam Matthews with 17 seconds to go, and the shot clock off. And that may be the final play of the day. Evans coming back from injury, holding on to it, now getting it to Young. And the 8-game losing streak for the Golden Hurricane against Tulane is over, and Tulsa wins with an 18-point victory. Very satisfying, certainly, for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane as they remain unbeaten here at home, 6-0. They remain unbeaten in the American Athletic Conference at 2-0, and they go to 12-3 on the season. Great performance by Angie Nelp and TU. We'll be back with more after this. From the Reynolds Center in Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane victorious here in the new year.